Welcome to another production of ParkTV 16 Sports on Location. Tonight we are back at the beautiful campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's High School in beautiful St. Louis Park, Minnesota, bringing you girls high school volleyball featuring the Chaska Hawks and the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. Both teams coming in here late in the season, early fall evening, 6 o'clock early start. Red Knights coming off a tough loss against a very good Delano team. We brought that to you on ParkTV 16 Sports, but they have a much superior record than the Hawks. Benilde 14-6, the Hawks just 6-13. However, they've won 2 of their last 3. So there might be some momentum for the Hawks. You never know what those reasons are, injuries and so on and so forth. But we're underway here at Benilde. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us. Back to serve, number 11 for the Hawks. That is Sasha Bovard, the senior. And she gets that ball deep and gets point number 1. So Chaska on the road gets off to an initial great start here on number 11, Sasha Bovard. And she'll go for point number 2. In my estimation, huge underdogs coming in here, and the Red Knights motivated after their last loss. They'd won 8 of their last 2, and they get that point right back. Great play from the front line. Substitutions now in for Benilde. Number 26, Sophia Black, checks into the front line, and now back to serve. Our score tied at 1, or no, who's got the serve? Okay, now we're getting the ball back to the Red Knights, and that is Wozniak, number 32. Maggie, a senior. Tied at 1 in game 1. They play a best of 5. Nice set to the near side. Little off the mark for Erica Lee, 25, and they get the point on the far side. Red Knights take their first lead 2-1. And here's that replay, and the block right at the net. Oh, she just misplayed it, didn't she? Set was a little off the mark there. Tough to handle. Now that one's good, and there is a violation, a double hit called on Chaska, and that gives the Red Knights their 3rd point. They're up 3-1. Wozniak back to serve, going for point number 3. Flat serve, catches the net cord. Chaska has to play defense. So do the Red Knights. No, they get it to Lee. Lee gives the spike attempt. A partial block by the Hawks. Unsuccessful, gives the Red Knights a 4-1 lead. Nice recovery there by Lee. You could see she was on the deck and got up just in time to make that spike. Great reaction by her. And a nice spike from the left outside front line by number 7. That's Chaska's Ramsey Johnston, the junior, as she finds the open deep corner and stops the bleeding right there. Look at the what I call the top spin heat. Beautifully struck. Now the Red Knights spike to the near side. Lee lets it fly, and it goes long. 4-3 now. Early on, game 1. After tonight, 3 matches left for the Red Knights before sections. Another good serve, and they had a hard time handling that. And they set up again, number 7. That one came right up over the net. Perfect place to spike it right back, and now the Hawks tied at 4 in game 1, and back to serve the libero, Clara Christ. And a great serve by Christ. Her name is spelled C-H-R-I-S-T, but I'm not sure if they pronounce it Christ or Christ. I'm gonna go with Christ. Back, gets that one in. The nice stink shot answered by the Hawks. Now to the far side, and letting it fly is number 2, Sydney Friedley, the freshman. Spikes it home from the far right front line position, and now checking in for here's that replay, and that was perfectly put right there, what I call in the wheelhouse for Friedley. And now, with the momentum of that score, she gets to serve. Tied at 5. Kill shot, saved by Friedley as she stepped up from the service line. Now Lee makes it happen. Finds the kill shot inside that left sideline. depending on which way you're facing it. Great set here to the near side. Lee lets it go and finds the opening just in front of Christ. 6-5 Red Knights. Friedli back to serve. She and her twin sister are pillars of this team here as freshmen, and that kill shot is number 7 once again. Ramsey Johnston, the junior captain, making it happen for the Hawks here. Ties it right back at 6. Great competitive volleyball action right here on ParkTV 16 Sports, and look at that shot. Now back to serve, number 15, Madison Frydon. Sophomore, near side. Lee gets it right where she needs it. Lee dominating. As she'll check out now, and checking in to serve is number 1, Darby Winters. We look at that replay, and there was no chance there. There might be a bruise on that right thigh. Number 15 taking the punishment was Madison Bryden for the Hawks, as number 1, Darby Waters, comes in off the bench to serve. We were here 2 nights ago, and she served very well against Delano. And she's back in again. Nice serve, no spin on that at all. Now the near side, and the kill shot again by Ramsey Johnston. And she is formidable. She's doing all the damage on offense for the Hawks. And here's another example. Right there, beats the fence at the net, and she'll be back to serve. Down by 1. Kill shot by number 8. That was Avery Minor. Beautiful set. Puts the Red Knights up, I think maybe their largest lead here. 9-7, up by 2, game 1. Now checking in to serve is number 22 for the Red Knights. That's Izzy Saffert, the captain, trying to keep it going. Serve, that is Johnston, near side, kill shot, successful, but good defense by the Red Knights. That kill shot, she took something off of it. Back row, longest rally of the night right here. Kill shot saved, Red Knights, save it, it's in. Wow, what a shot that was from that angle. Are you kidding me? Watch this. She let it go and it dropped in. 3-point lead now, 10-7. Saffert to serve again, goes deep. Chris gets it to the far side, blocked partially, and that's gonna be good for the Hawks as they stop the bleeding. And they cut the lead to 2 now, 10-8. Very competitive first game here, despite their lopsided records as opposed to each other, 6-13 versus 14-6, but so far, great entertainment volleyball here on display. Good serve by number 5, that was Eva Jenks, the senior, and the kill shot, Wozniak almost killed her teammate, if I may be so bold, in her celebration. That'll wake her up. But I'll tell you, I played a little bit of competitive volleyball, and there is really no greater feeling than spiking a ball like that, and you can see the exuberance of Wozniak. No harm, no foul, I say. Okay, now the Hawks trying to get back in it again, and that was beautifully executed by number 8, Catherine Blahosky. She took something off that on purpose, it felt like. Watch this, she adjusted in midair. Yep, oh, maybe she just mistimed it. Could have been accidental, but nevertheless, she made it happen. She stuck with it, and that was a great play by her. Keeping the Hawks within 2. Now, Friedli in at the net, number 10 takes advantage. Sailor Friedli, the twin sister, gets on the board, and now she'll go back and serve. It all started with that. The Hawks set up Friedli at the net. 3-point lead once again as we approach the midway point of game 1. They go to 25, they got to win by 2, I believe, or no, just 1. Serve in, Chaska gets it back over. Now to the near side, far side, Friedli gets blocked at the net, and that was number 11. And number 8, I believe, for the Hawks, Sasha Bovard. Excellent defense and well timed, and that was it. You could see them, they timed, they were synchronicity together there and made that block happen. Great defense by the Hawks. Stays within 2. Now Friedli. Sydney, I should say. Now Bell comes in on the front and she puts the hammer down, doesn't she? 13-10. So powerful up there on that front line. Beautiful bump set. That's hard to do too, to set someone up with the bump shot. That takes some skill for sure. Greatly well done. Now the tip shot, and is it in or out? They're calling it in. Wow, well played. A deft shot there. I believe that was number 8, Catherine Prohoski, if I'm not mistaken. There's the set, and she went for the corner. She's got great peripheral vision. She sees those angles that no one else does. Maybe I wasn't mistaken when she did that the first time, even though it looked like a mistimed jump. She seems to have that ability. Near side, Bell. I'm just gonna let the crowd noise illustrate that shot. Watch this. She gets that right at the bottom of her palm on that bone, and when you time that right, that ball just takes off. Lights out. All right, now the serve by Sydney Friedli into the net. And the first unforced error, I think, on serve for either team that I can recall. That's a key part of this game, because when you do that, you give a point to the other side. So it's very important to have a high in-service percentage in volleyball. Now defense. Lee, though, she was in between the first and second row. That would have been a very difficult shot to execute in the kill format, if I can use that expression. And that gives another point to the Hawks, and they're hanging around, down by 1, 14-13. Back to serve. Number 15 is Madison Pridon. That is Sailor Friedli. Kill shot by number 8 of the Red Knights, Avery Miner. Just an 8th grader out there, mind you. So the future looks bright for the Red Knights. They're having a winning season, 14-6 with so much youth. And they are very, very intentional. Now Darby Winters, the service ace, back in. And that ball is in. She paints the line. I'm looking at the bench of the Hawks to see if there's any body language disagreeing with that call, but nope, silence. Well done by Waters, and you can see why Coach Michael Becker brings her in at this moment. She's very good at this. Back row, Chris, near side. Oh, what a save in the corner by Sydney Friedli. Now Sailor gets it back over, and a chance for the Hawks. Near side, kill shot. Lights out this time by Ramsey Johnston of the Hawks. She's dangerous. That was Sailor Friedli, and then right here, look at him set up. Far side, right in the wheelhouse for Johnston. She is excellent. And now she'll serve her team down by 2, and she sails it out of bounds. Unforced error, those are so costly. It's like walking in a run in baseball, it feels like. All right, now back to serve, number 22, Izzy Saffert. Goes long, in, near side, kill shot, block, Sydney. Now Miner can't get it to go, and she was a little extended from the net to try to execute that kill shot. And it doesn't work out, but the Red Knights still hanging on to a 2-point lead. They are now 8 from the victory. Back to serve for the Hawks. Number 5, Ava Jenks, senior captain. Back row. That was Waters. Now to the near side. Sailor Friedli goes for the far side. It can't quite catch the line, and it goes out wide. And now the Hawks, 6-13 on the year win-loss record, hanging in there. And when you're the underdog and you hang around, that starts to build confidence, momentum. and upset-minded spirit, doesn't it? Now back row, Waters, near side, Sailor Friedli, blocked at the net, still safe, still alive, and nope, they're gonna call 4 hits. Too many hits. Yep, they did, and it's tied at 17. After all that, and you can see the Hawks clapping, they sense an opportunity here. Back row, Waters, beautifully executed, keeps that ball in. Now the Hawks with a chance on the far side. They got to play defense. That's Sailor Friedli to Sydney Friedli to the near side. Avery Miner lets it go. Saved by the Hawks on their side, and now they got to play defense. Near side, Sailor Friedli goes to the deep corner. Johnston saves it, and they find that soft spot. No, they don't. Saved, and it goes in for the Hawks, and they have their second lead of the night since their first point of the game. 18-17, and off the bench is Sue Murphy cheering on her front row, giving coaching, and that's gonna cause the Red Knights to take a 1-minute timeout. Michael Becker had seen enough, and it was a smart move to take that timeout to stop the momentum. Excellently timed. So it's really him talking to the bench over to the right side there, as we get a chance to look at the crowd. And it was parents' night here, as during the introductory lineups, each parent or each player had their parent or parents with them, and a rose was given, and they were introduced, and photographs were taken, and they're here over there on the right side in all red. I think is where most of the parents are congregating, and just great school spirit on display here. As the Hawks, they've had enough. They're ready to go. They didn't want this time out. They're already out there early. Look at that, chomping at the bit. All right, Red Knights taking the full 1 minute, as they should. It's much like icing the kicker, isn't it? Let's see if it has an impact on the Hawks here, especially on the serve. Ava Jenks, though, following, she's got iced here. Can she get it in? Can they believe, if you're a Hawk fan? That's the question. Near side, Sailor Friedli lets it go, and they answer. Great timeout by Becker. Stops the bleeding. And now a substitution checking in for the Red Knights, number 20, Ellery Clark, senior captain to serve. There she is. Both teams, first one that gets 7 more points wins game 1. Much more competitive than I expected looking at their records, and there's a setup. Wozniak, Chaska stays in it. Now a chance for the Red Knights to the near side. Sailor Friedli goes to that far corner, and Chris, what a beautiful save by her. She used her whole body to absorb the power of that shot to keep it in. And it sails long on Sailor Friedli. But the play of that point was number 2 for Chaska, Claire Christ. Just absorbing the power of Sailor Friedli's kill shot. Puts the Hawks back up by 1 and back to serve. That was number 9, Novilla Clark, and an unforced error by the Hawks ties it up for the Red Knights. Now back to serve, number 10, Sailor Friedli. Her team 6 from the victory. Can she get a few points in a row here? There's Chris to the near side, far side, spike attempt, and Wozniak, along with number 2, Sydney Friedli. Great defense there, puts the Red Knights back up by 1. It's now 21-20, and look at that. It was a perfect set, but look at the defense and the well-timed jump by those 2. And another serve, that goes in, and Chris lets it go. And Chris looks a little tired. That's a tough job. She's digging it out, and now a timeout on the court. This time taken by the Hawks coach, Sue Murphy. And she doesn't want this to get out of control, as now the Red Knights have rallied for 3 points of their own and have attained a 2-point lead. And we've got a 1-minute timeout. So just thinking back a few moments ago, the Hawks had a lead. They had come back. They had all the momentum. Michael Becker took the timeout for the Red Knights, and it has done wonders. It really has changed the tide, and now they're up by 2, but there's still some work to do for the Red Knights. They got 4 to go, and Chaska They're sensing an opportunity here still. And limiting the mistakes is going to be critical here in the final moments of game one. Glad you're with us here on ParkTV 16 Sports. Again, I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us, of course. Now, number 10, Sailor Friedley, the freshman. The ball on her wrist. 4 points to victory. Red Knights looking to get back on the winning side this week. Serve in, near side, kill shot, blocked at the net. Chance for the Red Knights, near side. There's Lee coming off the bench. Delivering the goods, number 25, Erica Lee. Unstoppable, especially when you get a beautiful set like that. I believe that was Safford that set her up. There's Chris. Digging him out there in the back row, and the kill shot by number 11, Sasha Bovard, the senior outside hitter. Gives the Hawks some hope more here. It's 22-20. They've got the serve. This game very much in doubt. Look at the set here to Bovard. She took it right off that right side of her hand and took a great angle. But that set, again, right where it needed to be. There's Lee. Will she get the return? No, they got troubles. And they save it. This is a chance for the Hawks. Near side, coming with the haymaker. Point to the Red Knights, but I love number 8, Catherine Blahoski, bringing the windmill with the arm there, winding up on that and missing. Great stuff here. Now some discussion with the coach. And what are we doing here? Timeout? I'm not sure what that signal means. It's 23-20 Red Knights, 1 minute timeout, I think. Red Knights second timeout, I think. So, and again, I think a wise timeout as well. They're in a tough competitive match here, and they got 2 points to take game one. After following a 3-game sweep loss on Tuesday, just 2 nights ago. It's important to get this win and to calm them down and get them focused here. This is, I think, a very, very good timeout by Michael Becker, in my opinion. Now, Chaska is calling a timeout? I'm not sure. I heard the PA announcer say something about that, but the Hawks are out on the court looking like they don't want any more timeouts. They want to play. They sense an opportunity here. They've won 2 of their last 3, despite losing 13 on the year as opposed to 6 wins. They certainly look like they feel they're in it. Now, coming off, long time out there. 23-20 our score. Wozniak, Maggie, back to serve the senior. There's the whistle. We're back underway. Back row, near side. That was number 8. Blahoski, and the Red Knights get that point. And that brings us to game point with a 4-point lead. Hawks have to play perfect volleyball to get back in this one. And there's a serve, they've got troubles. Now they play defense, well done, way to the back row. Here comes the set, they play, they find it. Izzy Safford, the senior captain, with all that experience, saw out of the corner of her eye the soft spot in the Chaska defense and delivers the game point for a 25-20 win. Come on back for game number 2. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our technical skills, our math, our engineering skills. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills. You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. and we promise we'll be there when you need us.
ParkTV 16 Sports on location. We are at the beautiful campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's, bringing you high school girls volleyball, and the Chaska Hawks surprisingly came in here with a 6-13 record and gave the Red Knights all they could handle, just emerging the victory at the tail end of game number 1. But glad you're with us here on ParkTV 16 Sports. I'm Robert Christensen, and this has been great competitive volleyball. So glad to be here. I think it's one of the most exciting sports in high school. And when it's played well, like both these teams are displaying, it's really a joy. Glad again you're with us here. Now, game 2 of the best of 5 about to commence, and that is Sailor Friedli. To start it off in game 2, 1-0 Red Knights. Now, Hawks. Chance, and sending it long was Ramsey Johnston. She was a huge force for Chaska in game 1. Following the break between games, that one sails long, 1-0 lead for the Red Knights. Now Friedli, back row. Now Blas gets another chance, and that also sails long, but not quite as out as the first one, so she's starting to find her range here early here in game 2, but she's given 2 points to the Red Knights, and now Friedli gets her third opportunity to serve. Sydney Friedli, I should say. There's 2 of them. Nice save in that far side by Safford. Now she finds her range. It took 3 times, didn't it, for Catherine Blahoski? And now she's found her range after the break. And it's just 2-1 for the Red Knights. And back to serve is Clara Christ. And I want to thank the watcher, listener out there who emailed us or texted us that I do have the pronunciation right. Thank you for that. And now Lee with the kill shot. And if you're a Hawks, if you're a Hawk fan or a Hawk player or a Hawk coach, Erica Lee is, what are you going to do here? That ball in the wheelhouse, finding that corner, so much pace on that. 3-1 Red Knights. Wozniak, she'll come up to the front row after serving that to take advantage of her height. Now to the near side, Lee gets it and miscalculates that into the net. A rare unforced error by Lee gives the second point to the Hawks, and now they're just down 1 here early in game 2. Back to serve, that's Madison Prydon, the sophomore. She'll occupy that near right side. Has that hand up begin with. Keeps that ball over the net for sure. Now to the near side, Sydney Friedli. Oh, and they just climbs over the net cord. Chance again for Sydney Friedli into the net cord. This time the net cord was not so kind, and it rejected the ball, and we're tied at 3. So this match starting off very much like the beginning of game 1. Tight, we're tied at 3. That's Prydon back to serve for her second point in a row. Back row, Sailor Friedli. Near side, Lee takes a hack at it, and she finds it. And that might have been her best spike, because she had to be at least 7, 6, 8 feet off the net here. Makes it much more difficult. You've got to get it over the net. You don't have quite the same angle, but she has that top spin heat, and she bended it in. Or I should say, what's the pronouncer? Grammar. Bent it in. All right, near side. Blahoski, after missing 2 kill shots, she's now 2 for 2 since then, and she ties it at 4. Look at her vertical. Back in the day when I played, we said that person can sky. Yeah, she can sky. And that one sails long. And I do think that is the juxtaposition when you get all that momentum and you do a great kill shot. It really does drive your adrenaline. And then you go back to serve, and you got to temper that so you don't go long on those serves. That's the mental trick there. Very difficult to manage. All right, now back to serve Waters. Deep row, Blahoski misplayed that one. And gives the Red Knights their 6th point in a 2-point lead, their largest. Now Blahoski, she'll have a chair. And Darby Waters, their service ace for the Red Knights, back in, and she scores again. There was an old TV commercial for the Midas mufflers, and she has the Midas touch there from the service line. They used to say you had the Midas touch. That's what she has. There she is, number 1, Darby Waters. 3-point lead now, game 2. Goes deep, well played. Chance for the Hawks. Kill shot blocked at the net. Now defense and a chance for the Red Knights. They're gonna bring it over here. No, they do the quick short one in the middle. And it was just misplayed. That was attempted to get it to number 26. That was Sophia Black, the sophomore. Just a slight miscue there between the set and the timing, and it looked like they were gonna come to the near side, so I like the idea, the creativity of setting it to the near kill shot person or the front row person. Next time that will probably work. Now the tip, tried to find the soft spot between lines 1 and 2. Now Safford saves that one. Near side, Fridley gets in position. Her kill shot, took a little something off that to keep it in. Goes long, Waters, and they save it. Wow, now the kill shot, saved by Waters. Near side, kill shot. Hawks play defense, now they're on offense. Go to the deep, Waters again, dominating that back row. The kill shot is good. Number 26, Sophia Black. Sensed the soft spot in the zone and put it right where she needed to this time. Making up for that other one, and that had to feel really good. And the Red Knights are back up by 3, 8-5, back to serve Safford. Little fakery there by the Hawks. I like they're both jumping, keeping the defense confused. The kill shot goes long, and that was number 10. Her name is Natalie Heyer. She's just an 8th grader, but she might be the tallest person on the court. Just from what I can see, and that was a heck of a kill shot. It went long. And the kill shot at the net by Sailor Friedley beats Chris. Hawks setting up the Red Knights, and now they're up by 5, and that not only matches their largest lead in game 2, I think it's their largest lead of the evening. And Safford back to serve again. Red Knights now starting to emerge here in game 2. Near side, kill shot, Waters. Can they save it? Waters saves it again. Barely. Now the 8th grader lets it happen just off the bench. It's the first time she's played all night. And now she'll check out. So they bring her in just for that limited purpose, and she does her job. Number 10, Natalie Heyer, the 8th grader, gives the Hawks a point, brings it back within 4. Now to the far side, Avery Miner gets blocked at the net. And that's 3 hits they call against the Red Knights. So that gives the point to the Hawks. And that's number 9, back to serve again, Novalie Clark. Bump sets up the Hawks, so difficultly receiving that serve, and the Hawks are coming back on the wrist of that woman right there. If you look at the replay, another good serve by the Hawks, and now they're within 1. This game 2 is almost a carbon copy of game 1. Nip and tuck by both teams, with the Red Knights always kind of being in the lead by 1 or 2. Then the Hawks might be, and that one sails long, but a nice run by number 9, Novalie Clark, the sophomore, on her serve, brings the Hawks back in it, and they're just down 2 now. And now substitutions for the Red Knights. Coming in to serve is number 20, that's Ellery Clark, the captain. She gets it in, Chris near far side, kill shot, Waters. Near side, Sailor Friedley makes it happen, diving for it, unsuccessfully were the Hawks in that back row. That was number 1. Allie Leonard couldn't quite get it, but she did try it valiantly there, but Friedley, too much power there. Sends Hawks flying to the hardwood floor here on Benilde-St. Margaret's campus. 12-9 our score. Safford back to serve again. Or excuse me, that was number 20, Ellery Clark. My apologies for that. And now the Hawks get the ball back and the point. They're still within 2 now. And now checking in to score here for the next 3 service games is number 7, Ramsey Johnston. Near side, Sailor Friedley. This time they handle it better in the back row, near side. They tried to find the soft spot. This time the Red Knights were ready for it. Now the set, the return. Oh, the haymaker shot. She faked it. A lot of deception by the Hawks. Gotta love it. Now, Johnston brings the heat. 12-11 our score. You can see Sue Murphy. Watch this action. Oh. Wow, right on the line there. 12-11. And speaking of number 11, that's who's back to serve. Sasha Bovard, the senior captain. Nice bump now to the near side. No, they they find the soft spot. Nice pass to number 2 for the Red Knights, Sydney Friedley, and she expertly and deftly finds the soft right there. That's what they call touch, feel, instincts. Now number 10, Sailor Friedley. Good serve, hard in the back row, now to the far side, and that was Johnston. This time the set wasn't where she needed it to be powerful, and now the Hawks struggle from the back row, and it goes into the net, and that gives the Red Knights their 14th point here in game 2, 14-11, and the Red Knights are 11 points from the win in game number 2. Best of 5, and now Sailor Friedley, the freshman, to serve. Far side, and there is Johnston. And the set by number 15. I don't give enough accolades, I try to, by the setter, because they really do create it. And that was Madison Pridon. Just put it in the perfect spot there for Johnston to bring it home and also bring the Hawks to within 2. 14-12 now, and there is Clara Christ. Heck of a player for the Hawks. Taking all those tough shots, going to her knees, diving in that hardwood floor, going after shots like that. And the power of Lee's shot put that ball against the ceiling, but it's still fair game. And now the dink shot by Wozniak. Well played, but good defense by the Hawks as they stay in it. And now they put the Red Knights on their heels, and it results in a point for the Hawks. Hawks were on their heels there, and they just saved it enough, forced the Red Knights. And as they scrambled, the point goes to the Hawks, and they're down 1, 14-13. This is Christ. Off the mark, and the set went awry, and now we're tied at 14. I was mentioning a moment ago, game 1 and game 2 are very similar, and they certainly are, even at this juncture. It was about this time in game 1 where the Hawks tied it up and actually took a lead, causing the Red Knights to take a timeout, and that turned the tide in game 1 for the Red Knights. Now back row, Sailor Friedley. Ball at the net, and Wozniak won that tussle, and that was player against player for strength, wasn't it? Right here. And Wozniak won that battle at the net to give the Red Knights a 1-point lead, 15-14. Now Johnston bumps it over, chance for the Red Knights. Which side to go to? Lee's side, and she scores it. Oh my goodness, Wozniak with the chest bump. I could watch this all night long. Great volleyball action. Johnston, the set wasn't where she wanted it, but she made something out of it. And out of the peripheral eye, she saw that left corner wide open, and she directed it. And the Hawks are within 1. Coach Sue Murphy, you can see her coaching her players. Very animated on the sideline. Great to see. Now number 15. Madison Pride on. Now Sydney Friedley. Chance for the Hawks with a good set. Gonna have to go for the back row, so that means a chance for the Red Knights, but they struggle on that, and now they're gonna play defense. And they give the point back to the Hawks, and we're tied at 16, and we got a timeout by the Red Knights. I thought that was gonna be coming soon, and it is, and that gives us an opportunity to look at the remaining schedule for the Red Knights. And tonight is October 5th, if you're watching this on delay. And the Hawks of Chaska are here. And coming up for the Red Knights, they're going to go to Casson-Mantorville. Then they get 2 home games before sections, Waconia and a very tough New Prague team as well. So it's hard to believe the fall sports season is already coming to a near conclusion here for volleyball. And that brings up an interesting topic. I just read today that recently newly sanctioned boys high school volleyball league is going to get underway, and they've decided that's going to be a spring sport in Minnesota high schools going forward. I'm not sure if that's going to start this coming spring in 2024. I think it might, but that will be a spring sport. So girls volleyball in the fall, boys volleyball in the spring. So you may find ParkTV 16 Sports at one of those matches coming up next year. We'll see if either St. Louis Park or Benilde will field a boys team. I'm not sure how many schools are going to get involved, but I think that's great. Any more opportunities for people to play competitive sports in high school is always good. Now back to serve, number 15, Madison Pride on. Sails that out, so another well-taken, well-timed timeout by Michael Becker, just like last time. I mean, this is a carbon copy. Stops the bleeding and the momentum about this juncture last game. Now let's see if the Red Knights can follow through. And the block at the net by Lee against Johnson, and that is the epic battle of the night right there at the net. And she also faces down number 10, the very tall 8th grader, Natalie Heyer. Lee took on Johnson, and then here she takes on the 8th grader and wins that battle as well. And the following serve, an unforced error by the Red Knights, gives Hawks hope. Little alliteration there, but blah. Now Johnston back to serve. Her team within 1. As we are nearing the conclusion of game 2 here on ParkTV 16 Sports. Lee now with a chance. Forces Chris to save it. Might have been going out of bounds, but you want to play it safe, and there's a double hit called on the Hawks. Red Knights back up by 2 with 6 to go. And now here comes Darby Waters. Just what the Hawks don't want to see. Probably their most effective server that I've seen. This is our second Benilde girls volleyball game of this season, and she's been very effective in both. Gets that one in, and the Hawks struggle, and there is another Exhibit A. Waters makes it happen from the service line. Look at the determination. Much like a free throw, you get a routine, you do it the same way every time. She gets a deep row. Hawks have a difficult time handling it. Now to the near side. Sailor Fridley goes and gets the point. Perfectly placed in a location where if you're the Hawk defender, you don't quite know if it's going to go out, but you certainly don't want to let it fall in. Much like a baseball player looking at a called third strike. You got to be protecting it. You got to assume it's going to be a strike. That's why you want to swing when you got 2 strikes. Okay, now Waters once again. And that one sails wide. But she may have done just enough damage because the Red Knights just have 4 to go and the Hawks have 6. And so I believe the odds, the logistics, the data would suggest the Red Knights are in the driver's seat. But a lot hinges on this service opportunity for the Hawks. Number 5, that is Ava Jenks. Far side, Avery Minor. Chance for Blahoski, or Bovard, I should say. Now in the far corner, it's out. So the Hawks hanging around. Ava Jenks going for her second consecutive point on serve. Quiet in the gymnasium there as she serves, and they find the soft spot, the diving save, and they keep it in. But a real good chance here now for the Red Knights, and Avery Minor gets blocked at the net. And another shot by Sailor Friedley catches the defense off guard. Punishing shot right here. And I say punishing right there. Point blank range. Just trying to defend yourself from getting hurt on that one. And now number 22, Savert, gets that one in. Nice bump, return, and all right. Sasha Bovard, how good is she? Not only did she handle that very difficult serve, she was able to get back up and get the return pass and deliver the kill shot. That's athleticism, and that's what has the Hawks within 2 now. Good serve by the Hawks. Near side, Sailor Friedley sails long. Good call by the linesman. And the Hawks are within 1 now. And another timeout by the Red Knights, Michael Becker. Hawks giving these Red Knights all they can handle tonight, both in game 1 and game 2. And the Red Knights, after winning 8 in a row, lost to Delano, a very, very good team. Not a loss to feel bad about at all. They are really a superior team, but they want to get back on the winning track, and they want to do this in sweep fashion to get back on the winning track and to get the bad taste out of their mouths after the Delano loss, I'm quite sure. But Chaska has shown up here inspired, just 6 wins on the year. They started out losing their first 4, then they won 2, lost 2, and won 2. So then they went 6-4 for a period, and then they lost 6 in a row before winning 2 of their last 3. So it's hard to tell where they're at in their season. But winning 2 of the last 3 has given them confidence, and they are definitely looking confident here. Still down 1, however. They've got some work to do if they can get over the Red Knights here. That's Waters from the back row near side. Sailor Friedley forces Chris. And now Bovard diving, saved by the Red Knights, and Friedley gets it in as the block attempt at the front by number 8, Lahosky, along with number 17, Olivia Whelan, the junior, unsuccessful. And now the Red Knights up by 2, but only 2 from the victory. And in to serve is number 20, Ellery Clark, the senior captain, and she goes long, beautiful serve. Chris, nice save. And I think she carried it. She did. I'm not sure what the correct call. I call that a carry. Palming. But the net result is game point here for the Red Knights in game 2, and that is, again, Ellery Clark to win it. Nice diving. Saved by 22. Safford, ball still alive, but a chance for the Hawks to stay in it right here. Kill shot blocked at the net. Safford again. Now, the shot, it's in. Oh, it went out. I was looking at the long line. Just sails out on the Red Knights. And the Hawks still have life. They've got the serve. They're down by 2, but they've got to play perfectly. Sasha Bovard with the serve, gets it in. Near side, Sailor Friedley with the block and the win. Red Knights take game 2, 25-22. They lead the best of 5, 2 wins to 0. Stay tuned for game number 3. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube. Glad you're with us.
If you go to a waiting room for the cancer clinic at Children's, every parent is wondering, will that next breakthrough happen in time to save my child? We have the knowledge, we have the insights from decades of research. We may be able to cure cancer with no worse side effects than feeling like you have a cold for a couple days. It's not a question of if we're going to be able to do this, it's just a matter of when. The quality of the medical care at Seattle Children's Hospital and the depth and breadth of the research community here will impact the well-being of children throughout the world.
Seattle Children's is working relentlessly to improve treatments for more than 200 diseases and conditions. And as one of the nation's top children's hospitals, we're not just beating the odds, we're changing them for all kid kind. Find a clinical trial that could change everything at seattlechildrens.org/clinical trials.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports on Location. Tonight we are still at Benilde-St. Margaret's High School, bringing you girls high school volleyball. And if you're just joining us, you are in for a treat. This has been great high school volleyball action. Exciting play by both sides, incredibly competitive, as you can see by those close final scores in games 1 and 2. Chaska came in with a 6-13 record. Red Knights 14-6. Basically opposite seasons they're having, and the Chaska Hawks have given these Red Knights everything they can handle. And we'll see if they can keep that going here in game 3 as they face elimination in this match. And to lead it off in game 3 for the Hawks at the service line, that's Sasha Bovard, the very talented senior. Gets it going with a knuckleball serve, near side lead, gets it on the board for the Red Knights as she kill shots that off the net cord on that near side. I don't know if she tried to take something off this one. She was just going for that angle there, and she found it. Now the serve by Wozniak. Blocked at the net, saved. Well done, not a double hit, but they're gonna have to get it over. Will it make it? No. Tied at 1 in game 3. Checking in there for the Hawks was number 14, Molly Buddy. And now Clara Christ back to serve. Near side Lee in the wheelhouse. My vantage point is just to the right of your camera angle right there, and I can see that coming from my vantage point with the naked eye. Unbelievable. I mean, when that set is right where it is, gotta look as big as anything to the hitter. Now a good serve. Has the Hawks reeling, but they save it. Now to the near side, Lee, she'll have to play defense. That'll give the Hawks a chance, down 2-1, near side, and Johnston can't get everything on it. Now Lee answers back, and a great diving save by the Hawks, but not quite good enough, and that gives the Red Knights a 3-1 lead here early in game 3. Back to serve, number 2, Sydney Friedley. The twin sister of Saylor with her second serve. Team up 3-1. Far side, and the kill shot successful by guess who else? Ramsey Johnston, the senior. Magnificent player to watch out there for the Hawks. Now checking into serve, number 17 for the Hawks. That is Olivia Whelan, junior. Her team down just 1. And again, this game 3 feeling a lot like games 1 and 2. Very close early on and throughout. Only at the end do the Red Knights separate themselves. That's been the pattern. Oh, and the diving, sprawling, number 22, Savard can't quite come up with it as Johnston took something off that one and gets another point for her Hawks, and they're tied at 3, and that brings us back to number 17, Olivia Whelan. Jump serve, nice and deep. Here, in from the middle position, Avery Miner with the left hand. Hawks had an answer for that one, and now Lee will have to play defense. It gets it to the back row. Now to the near side. The set attempt, Johnston blocked at the net, allowed Sydney Friedley to save it. Now Lee from middle back row. Oh, it just climbs over the net cord. Savard saves it, and they're gonna keep it. No, they're gonna call a palm or a carry violation. And now the Hawks have a rare early lead in a game. They're up 4-3, and that is Olivia Whelan, and she's going for her 3rd or maybe 4th consecutive point. Very effective from the service line here early in game 3. Now from the back row, Saylor Friedley gets that kill shot in. Sends the Hawks reeling a little bit, and now a chance here for Avery Miner. saved by Chris for the Hawks. Now Johnston lets it fly, and diving Lee into the bench. She gets up quickly, she's all right. But the point goes to the Hawks, and they now have a 2-point lead, and this may be their largest lead of the night in all 3 matches. I don't think they had much of a lead at all. And, a couple times they had a 1-point, maybe 2-point lead. So a better start here for the Hawks in game 3. Lee goes long, saved in the back row nicely by Boulevard. Now, Safford. Lee with the perfect opportunity, and it either went into the net or there was great defense at the front line. They definitely impacted Lee's shot. That's number 14, Buddy, along with number 10, Higher, and there you see the outcome. Oh, they're going to give the point to the Red Knights on the violation against the Hawks. It went over the net. It did, I couldn't tell. All right, point for the Red Knights, well done. And now Ramsey Johnston, this time from the near front row, delivers the 6th point and another 2-point lead. And now she'll have a chance to serve, see if she can calm that adrenaline down, not send it long. Takes a healthy lead at, this time, I think she was worried about her adrenaline and she took something too much off that one. I could see that happening to me. So there's a happy medium there. She'll find it. Now Safford. Chance for Boulevard, and she finds Paydirt, and another 2-point lead. This time now the Hawks leading the Red Knights throughout the early stages of the game. They're up 7-5, and now in to serve off the bench for the Hawks. That's number 5, Ava Jenks. Pounding that ball, taking that far baseline position at her serve. Near side, Avery Minor, and down goes Johnson to get that. I don't know if we can get that on replay, but I don't know how she didn't wreck her knee on that. She went down in what I thought looked like an awkward position. Ball still alive, though. Waters. Misdirection shot, unsuccessful. Kill shot, blocked at the net. Nice diving save by Waters. Now for Sailor Friedley, blocked at the net. And that tall front line by number 10, Natalie Heyer, along with number 8, Catherine Blahoski. Very formidable on defense, gives another serve opportunity for Ava Jenks. Far side, Avery Minor. This time she gets it to go, and the Red Knights stop the bleeding. It's been a few moments since they'd scored a point. As now substituting in to serve is number 20, Ellery Clark, for number 8, Avery Minor. What a competitive match. I mentioned that earlier. Hope you're enjoying it as much as I am here on ParkTV 16 Sports, and that serve goes into the net, and now the Hawks have their largest lead of the night. 3 points. I don't remember them being up 3 at all. So they are making improvements steadily. They lost by several in game 1, just a few in game 2, and now they lead in game 3. And that was Sydney Friedley, and right along the net, there's a net violation there. Gives a point back to the Red Knights. They're just within 2 here. Still somewhat early stages of game 3. Sailor Friedley back to serve. Waters will take a break. She's played magnificently for the Red Knights tonight. Now the set. Not well timed, but a nice save by number 11, Boulevard. And now the kill shot, but there's a net violation, or a double hit, it looks like, was called. And now the Red Knights are back within 1. Sailor Friedley having a run here from the service line, as she occupies the near position along that baseline. I think it's interesting that they can go wherever. That was off the mark. That gives an opportunity for the Red Knights to tie it up right here. Wozniak saved in the back row. Now the Red Knights get a chance. Near side, they don't go to lead, they go to Sailor Fridley from the back row, sends a diving Johnston, and she saves it again from that back row. She does it from the front row and the back row, doesn't she? Johnston for the Hawks. And there they find, oh my goodness, that was a head-on collision, literally. Good thing they avoided each other. That could have been a bad accident there. Good thing. But the point goes to the Hawks. And the serve remains with number 11, Sasha Bovard. Her team clinging to a 2-point lead, 10-8 in game 3. Near side lead. What are you gonna do if you're the Hawks? Nothing. You can't stop that. Well placed. I don't know. One day maybe we'll get a speed gun. We can see how fast. I doubt that'll happen, but that would be interesting to know how hard that ball is shot. Now, not a well done set, but it still works out well for the Hawks. You know, sometimes you're so waiting for a big hit that when that happens, it's hard to, when you're back on your haunches, waiting for the spike, and then all of a sudden you got to go forward when your momentum is sort of leaning backwards to absorb those powerful spikes. Works out well, even if the other team misplayed it. Kill shot attempt unsuccessful by the Red Knights, and now the Hawks back up by 3. So they are rewriting the script here in game 3 as they obtain the lead a little earlier than they had obtained the leads in games 1 and 2. See if that makes a difference here. Usually the Red Knights, this is when they come back. Chris Johnston, and that sails long. It gives the momentum, at least temporarily, back to the Red Knights. And now, checking in, Avery Minor sitting for the Red Knights. Ellery Clark, then back to serve, Sydney Friedley. Chance for Johnston. She tried to misdirect it towards that far sideline, and Friedley was there for it, waiting for it. Now Johnston brings the power. She's really strong. Very strong. Look at this camera angle right there. Timed. Get that arm cocked back. It's like a slingshot. Now number 17, Olivia Whelan. Good serve. She's got a nice arc on it. Now Avery Minor saves it. Ball still alive. No violations. Johnston plays defense. Saffert with the bump. The set by Friedley to Lee. She gets it to go down. Takes the shoulder bump from Saffert. And now she'll change out as Waters checks in to serve. And they need her right now. Their team down 4. Largest deficit of the night for Mike Becker and the Red Knights. Trying to get the sweep here. And they're working hard for it, to be sure. Now Johnston goes to the back row. Seifert, and a point. As I believe the 8th grader, number 10, Heyer, was in the net or neutral zone, I believe. And that gives a point back to the Red Knights. Now they're just down 2. And there is Darby Waters, letting her presence be known from the service line again. Now Johnston finds, oh, what a diving save by Saffert. It didn't work out in the end, but that was stellar. She dived for that and just got her hand on it, and it was a good hit off the bony surface of the top of her hand. Got that up, but just not quite enough. But what an effort by Saffert, and a timeout on the court. I believe that was taken by the Red Knights this time, as their team down 3 with the Hawks with 10 to go. And now we can look at the Hawks' schedule coming up. So after tonight, they're back on the road in 4 at Wayzata. So they'll come up, what, Highway 101 in the western suburbs. That'll probably take them right up to the Wayzata High School. Then they're back home against Orono. Orono, they'll take that 101 bus right probably back to Chaska. And then at St. Louis Park, just across Highway 100 from where we are situated at Benilde-St. Margaret's. So timeout now coming to a conclusion. We're in game 3 of a best of 5 high school sanctioned volleyball event. Chaska Hawks coming in 6-13 on the year, but they are very competitive, giving the Red Knights all they can handle, and largely on the shoulders of that woman right there, Ramsey Johnston, having a night here for the Hawks. Back to serve. Last time she went short, this time she finds the range. And from that far side, Avery Miner uses the net cord to her advantage and brings the Red Knights back within 2. So a short-lived service game for Johnston, and now into serve, the senior captain, Izzy Saffert. Oh, and that one goes wide left. She serves the ball without any spin, which I like. I think that does have a little knuckleball effect, especially when it hits the wrist of the receiving player. I think when it's a knuckleball, it's a little harder to control sometimes. Now Sailor Friedley back. The give and go, I call it. And it's successful. It is just like basketball. A give and go, and you go to the net. Much the same. Nice set by Sydney Friedley to her sister, Sailor. And now back to serve, number 20 for the Red Knights. Ellery Clark, the senior captain. Her team down 2, just past midway of game 3. Diving and unsuccessfully saving it were the Red Knights, number 20, Clark, coming up from that service position. And now the Hawks still maintaining a 3-point lead as they now see their 8 points. That's the magic number for them to win game 3. Back to serve, number 9, Noelle Clark. Johnson with a nice bump there at the net, and Saffert saves the day on that one. The set, dig shot, saved by Saffert again, now to the near side. Sailor Friedley goes to the far side, and Chris diving, can't save it. And the Red Knights are still within 2, and now Erica Lee checks in for Darby Waters. So the Red Knights have their big guns at the front row. Wozniak, Sydney Friedley, Erica Lee trying to bring this one home and get the sweep. Back to save Sailor Friedley, serve I should say. Now the kill shot and at the net. Oh, they're gonna give it to Chaska. What great volleyball action there, especially on the part of number 8, Catherine Blahoski, as she won that battle against Lee and Wozniak. And Hawks now up by 3 with 7 to go. Lee gonna get the give and go, and she brings it, and they saved it. Is it gonna be too many hits? No, it's not. Diving, saved by Sailor Friendly, back to Lee, suddenly at the front row, Chris with a diving save. And Johnson sends it to the back row. Back on the Red Knights, Sailor Friendly. Saved at the back row by the Chaska Hawks, and now at the net, and the point. Double hit is gonna be called, but still a great finish by the Red Knights. My goodness. What a point that was. Quickly now, Wozniak back to serve, still down 2. They can't quite get over that hump. Chaska playing very well here in game 3. Now there is Clark near side. Lee lines it up and scores it. And she went right at Johnston's head, basically. And she had to play defense and was handcuffed and didn't know what to do with it. Well directed shot by Lee brings the Red Knights back within 1, and it's been a while since they've had the lead in game 3, and timeout on the court, this time taken by the Hawks coach Sue Murphy, and that gives us a chance to look at the overall standings in the Metro West Conference, where the Red Knights are tied for 2nd with Waconia. And they've got New Prague coming up on the schedule. No, they don't. Chaska does. No, let's see here. I think the Red Knights do have Chaska or New Prague coming up. They do. They'll end the year with them, and that could be for the conference championship. So you're in the vicinity, come on down to the arena here on the campus of Benilde and check that game out. That promises to be a very exciting match. to close out the season and could very well be for the conference championship. They also played Waconia at home the game before, so that is going to be a crazy week next week. Next Wednesday, October 11th, and then the following Tuesday, October 17th to close it out. And now following the timeout, down by 1. The serve is successful, and the Red Knights, following the timeout, have tied it at 18. So they're coming back late, as they did in games 1 and 2. Wozniak to the back row. Johnston in. And she eyed that up. She didn't go for the kill shot in the traditional sense, but you could tell, I was watching her eyes. She saw it, and she just caught the line. Wow, what a shot by Johnston. Gives the Hawks the lead. And a chance here with Chris at the service line. Sailor, Friedley, near side, Erica Lee! When that set is placed so perfectly on that near side, Erica Lee is really unstoppable. And that set this time came from number 20, Ellery Clark, deserving all the credit there. Now, Johnston answers with a wheelhouse spike of her own. And they go back on top by 1, 20-19. Checking in now, the tall 8th grader for the Hawks, Natalie Heyer. She's at the front line along with number 14, Molly Buddy. And of course, the ubiquitous Ramsey Johnston for the Hawks. Now Lee answers, blocked at the net and off the Red Knights. And the Hawks now with their largest lead this late in a game. And they are now 3 points from the victory to force a game 4 in this best of 5. What a match this has been. Back to serve, number 17, Olivia Whelan. Back row, Sailor Friedley, near side. I don't think it was tall, it went long. Point goes to the Hawks. And a timeout on the court. As the Red Knights now are 6 from the victory, while the Hawks are 3, and it is a hush in the crowd here as the Red Knights are looking at having to go to a game 4 here. There's still time. There's a 3-point cushion. The Hawks still need to manufacture 3 more. So it's not like they have to play perfect volleyball to get back in this, but the Red Knights have to play nearly perfect volleyball here. No unforced errors are gonna get it done here, I believe. They've got some ground to make up in a very, very short period of time, starting right now following this timeout. And the Hawks, if you look at the Red Knights, talk it over. The Hawks are already out on the court, ready to go in formation. And this is gonna be it here. I don't expect any more timeouts now, 22-19. That is quite the alarm bell here in the arena. Gets your attention for sure. Now number 17, Olivia Whelan goes deep. Friedley to the near, oh, she fakes him out, a fake knee out. Now Johnston. That is just too good. Sharp angle on that kill shot. Watch this, and again, the set by number 17, Olivia Whelan, and she's been doing that all night long from the set position. Now Lee brings it, and Lee gets blocked at the net. Heyer, along with number 14, Molly Buddy, and now the Chaska Hawks. You can see their fans on their feet here. Game point in game 3. Red Knights on the ropes here, and they hang in there. 24-20, and I was just mentioning that they had to play nearly perfect volleyball. Strike that. They've got to play perfect volleyball, and no better person to come in to bring them back than number 1, Darby Waters. I'm just letting the images tell that story. Yep, Darby Waters. They got to win by 2. Okay, so they still need to get 4 here, don't they? Darby Waters, Chaska fans still on their feet, and into the net it goes. And that gives the Hawks the win in Game 3. We're going to a Game 4 here on ParkTV 16 Sports. Stay with us. We're streaming live on YouTube.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
If you go to a waiting room for the cancer clinic at Children's, every parent is wondering, will that next breakthrough happen in time to save my child? We have the knowledge, we have the insights from decades of research. We may be able to cure cancer with no worse side effects than feeling like you have a cold for a couple days. It's not a question of if we're going to be able to do this, it's just a matter of when. The quality of the medical care at Seattle Children's Hospital and the depth and breadth of the research community here will impact the well-being of children throughout the world.
Seattle Children's is working relentlessly to improve treatments for more than 200 diseases and conditions. And as one of the nation's top children's hospitals, we're not just beating the odds, we're changing them for all kid kind. Find a clinical trial that could change everything at seattlechildrens.org/clinical trials.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports on location. We are bringing you girls high school volleyball featuring the Chaska Hawks against the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. And I am Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us here on ParkTV 16 Sports. And if you just joined us, you are in for a treat, as this has been great volleyball action tonight. Red Knights won games 1 and 2 by narrow margins, and this time the Hawks were able to overcome the deficit and win game 3. And now we are at game 4. Red Knights coming off a sweep loss against Delano on Tuesday night, trying to get back on the winning track after winning 8 out of their last 10, but the Hawks have won 2 of their last 3 despite their inferior record, playing very good volleyball. They've got great talent on their team, and they are not going away here, as they are just maybe finding their identity tonight. Looking very relaxed. There's a referee, and there's some sort of substituting going on. Rules at play that I probably don't understand. But we're about to begin here, game 4. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us on ParkTV 16 Sports. And we're underway with the Red Knights serving first. That is number 20, Ellery Clark. She gets it in, and now it's back on their side. To the far side, Sydney Friedley delivers the first point with that kill shot. And if you're the Red Knights and you're annoyed, and look at Wozniak, she's like, let's get this one. Gunning that ball back to her teammate, Ellery Clark. Let's go, she says. That serve in, almost flubbed by the Hawks. Lee off the ceiling. Near side, Friedley has to play defense. Now a chance for the Hawks. And that was number 8. Blahoski diving and in. Johnston! That was right like picking an apple, wasn't it? Just right there, hanging there. Watch this. The ball was right there, perfectly timed on the way down. And the Hawks answer right back and tied at 1 in game 4. Brings up Clara Christ from the service line on the far side. Lee with a good bump near side. Friedley splits the defense on that back row. Sends both Christ and number 11 Bovard diving to the hardwood. Too much pace and well placed by the Red Knights, and they have a 2-1 lead here early on. Now number 10 back to serve for the Red Knights. Of course, that's Sailor Friedley. 2-1 lead in game 4, and that goes long. An unforced error by the Red Knights. Brings the Hawks back to a tie. Now checking in. Some more height coming to that front row. Again, Natalie Heyer, just an 8th grader out there. And now back to serve. You can see in the left part of your screen, number 15. That's Madison Prydon. And wait, she served a little early. Whistle as the near referee. You can see her in the foreground of your screen. Discussing things with the scorekeepers. So not the first issue that's gone on. All right, looks like they got it figured out. Our score tied at 2. Game 4, still back to serve. Madison Prydon, the sophomore. Lets it go, back row. Saved Hawks, near side, Johnston. That's Safford. Near side, Lee finds the opening with the nice tip at the net. And the Red Knights regain the lead 3-2 in game 4 as we look at the diving, sprawling defense for the Hawks, and Wozniak puts it into the net and gives the point back to the Hawks, and that brings Ramsey Johnston to the service line. And the serve. Spike attempt, near side, sails long on Lee. 4-3 our score. Red Knights up 4-3, back to serve is number 2 for the Red Knights, of course, Sydney Friedley. Back row. Chris gets it. Far side, kill shot is in by number 11, Sasha Bovard. And our score tied at 4 in game 4, and that brings in number 5 to serve, Ava Jenks for the Hawks. And middle row to her knees as Sailor Friedley gets that up for Lee, and now, again, that front row, very tall, number 8, again, Catherine Blahoski, along with number 10, Natalie Heyer. A good match for Erica Lee, and the Hawks are up 5-4. So the Red Knights need to find a way to get around that formidable defense. Now Friedley near side. Back row, Safford for the Red Knights, near side. Lee goes long and gets it to go. This time she was able to avoid that front tall defense by the Hawks, Healy and Blahoski, and gets the 5th point for the Red Knights, and we're tied at 5. Highly competitive match here between the Chaska Hawks and the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights, and now into serve is Darby Waters. Jump serve, back row, far side, Bovard, kill shot. Out of bounds, off the ceiling, point to the Hawks. They're back up by 1, 6-5. Now behind the net. Number 9, Nobley Clark into serve with a 1-point lead in game 4. Off the net cord, diving, saved by Saffert. Sailor Friedley blocked at the net. Now Christoph to save the day. Kill shot off the back row, Waters, Saffert, and they'll have to get it over on this one, and Sydney Friedley successfully does so. Now the kill shot with the windmill kill. Number 8, Catherine Blahoski right there. Puts the Hawks back up by 2. Back to serve, number 9, Nobley Clark. And the serve in. Saffert, Sydney Friedley to Sailor Friedley, and that sails long. And the Hawks now dominating again here in game 4, up 8-5. They have found a formula here mid-match. And up by 3 once again here in game 4. Now Avery Miner stops the bleeding with that kill shot with the left arm from the far right side in the front row. Brings the Red Knights within 2. Now back to serve, number 22, Izzy Saffert, the captain, trying to get her team back in, and there! Somehow, Chris, I don't know if she lost her footing. Things can happen so fast, but that one eluded her. I don't know if she slipped or not, or just maybe was caught leaning the wrong way, but now a point is the deficit between these two teams. Saffert trying to tie it up here. Saffert, nice bump by Bovard. She gets the return and the block of the net by Wozniak, and Avery Miner bring the Red Knights to a tie at 8. And another service opportunity for the Red Knights, and Izzy Saffert, the captain, leading the way with the comeback, ties it up at 8. Great volleyball action here on display. And that was another great serve by Saffert as she handcuffed Bovard right at her head, and that, you don't know what to do. And she had to push it right into the net, and now the Red Knights go back up by 1 here in game 4, 9-8. Service game in, and a miss hit, and I think there was a violation there on the Red Knights, maybe touching the net, I believe. Or no, the point goes to the Red Knights. The violation was on the Hawks. That's what I thought I saw, but I misread the officials' hand gestures there. So Red Knights up by 2 now, 10-8. Saffert. Avery Miner with the kill shot. Far side. Tipped at the net. Near side, Lee back, or no, Sailor Friedley finds the opening between the defense in the back row, and now the Red Knights up by 3, and Izzy Saffert in control from the service line. Her team, I believe, was down 2 or 3, now they're up 3. On a roll here in game 4, Saffert trying to keep it going. Gets another one in, this time it goes out just barely on that far side, but what a great run by Izzy Saffert, number 22. And now the baseline, number 11, that is Sasha Bovard to serve. For the Hawks, she's down 2 now after leading most of the way here in game 4. And Friedley's kill shot, oh my goodness, went off the I-beam, off the ceiling. That's how much power number 10 for the Red Knights had. Impossible to handle for the Hawks. And now they'll bring in a substitution. As they're now down 3 as we're approaching midway, if we're not almost exactly at the midway point. They played a 25 in the first 4 games, and they played a 15 in game 5. Now, back to serve, Ellery Clark, the other senior service master for the Red Knights, delivers again. 13 now, 9 Red Knights. Red Knights have their largest lead here. They're at home, and they're starting to find their groove in game 4 once again. trying to keep the momentum going to the far side. Johnston, haven't heard from her in several points. And now Wozniak delivers the goods from the front line. My goodness. And timeout on the court by the Hawks. Coach Sue Murphy, she's seen enough and she needs to stop the bleeding as now she finds her team down 5 in an elimination game here, game 4. Great volleyball action here. Timeout on the court. And a quick timeout by the Hawks as they're quickly out of their huddle with still 30 seconds to go in the timeout. Meanwhile, that's Coach Michael Becker. Has the rapt attention of his team. Trying to engineer a comeback win after the loss on Tuesday. They'll have 3 matches to come on the road at Cass and Mantorville on Saturday, 4 o'clock. Then, as I mentioned earlier, 2 magnificent looking games. 7 o'clock on Wednesday, October 11th, Waconia, who they're tied with in the Metro West Conference, and then New Prague, the leaders in the Metro West, to close it out. They win those 2 matches. Very likely your Metro West Conference champions, but right now, more importantly, they've got the Hawks to worry about in game 4. Up 5 after a long timeout. Let's see if Clark can get it in. She does. The icing didn't work, but it did overall as the Hawks get that point following the timeout. So for Coach Sue Murphy, that was just what the doctor ordered. And now Clara Christ, the freshman, great rising star there for the Hawks, to be sure. Now, near side, Sailor Fridley delivers in as diving Clara Christ couldn't come up with that one. Too much pace and too sharp of an angle. And you can see Sailor have her head up. She saw exactly the opening and she delivered it right on the mark. Now back to serve is Sailor Friedley. Able to control that adrenaline after that great kill shot, but there's Ramsey Johnston. 2 superpowers at the front, bringing everything they got. Adds to the excitement, the adrenaline, just watching this match. Great entertainment, and look at the height difference there as you look at the substitution there. Natalie Heyer, we don't have those stats, but just by visuals alone, Chaska, and that one sails long. That was Kruger Olivia, the senior, checking in, and her serve goes long. And she gives a point right back to the Red Knights. Now they're up 16-11, the Red Knights, and back to serve is Wozniak, Maggie Wozniak. Brings a lot of energy, and that one sails wide left. Kind of came off funny off the hand there, it felt like, but now back to serve. The formidable Ramsey Johnston, the junior, stellar player for the Hawks, trying to bring her team back midway through game 4 here to stave off elimination in this match. Near side, the short hit, executed well. Sydney Friedley to number 26. Sophia Black, the sophomore, and they didn't come to the near side. They faked them out. Everybody in the arena thought it was going to Erica Lee, and a well-timed set leads to a very smart point for the Red Knights. And that one is just out, right at the feet of the linesman there. You wonder if he's almost not too close. If the ball's there and you're diving and you don't want to run into him and get hurt. Just something I thought of there. As he'll walk up to check the, I don't know what you call that, the boundary stick that's connected to the net. All right, our score 17-13. Back to serve, number 5 for the Hawks. Ava Jenks. Erica Lee, she gonna get the return? She does, and she goes for it, and that sails long. Giving the Hawks some hope and life. And another service opportunity for Ava Jenks. Her team now down 3. With 8 to go for the Red Knights. That's their magic number. Lee. Now Sydney Friedley sends it deep. Chance for the Hawks, and that goes long by number 11, Sasha Bovard. She had the chance, and it sails long on her. As now checking in, Darby Waters to serve, of course. Her team now 7 from the match here in game 4. Waters pounding that ball as she does. Jump serve, back row, Johnston. Blahoski, or no, Bovard, I should say. Now Avery Minor. Johnston saves it with a bump. Bovard blocked at the net. And they tried to find the soft spot, but there to save the day was number 15, Pryden. Now Red Knights back. Kill shot attempt, and they work that again. Great combination between Sydney Freely, number 2, and number 26, Sophia Black. And the score now, 19-14, 5-point lead once again. And there is Waters. She is so impactful at the service line. Gets that one deep, almost running into each other. And the kill shot, and there is a violation. Both linesmen calling it, waving their red flags, and now the largest lead of game 4. A 6-point cushion for Michael Becker and the Red Knights. Still 5 points to go, and these Hawks are capable of reeling off a number of points on their own. Red Knights, Saylor gets that in, near side. The 8th grader blocked at the net by Lee, along with 26 Black. Now Waters with a nice bump, and the kill shot again by Black gets blocked out of bounds. Point to the Red Knights. They're up 7 with 4 to go, and maybe they can breathe a little bit easier here. Want to keep it going here, keep their focus, but they definitely tightened up their game here midway through game 4. Deep and just in. Wow, that was close. Point back to Chaska. As they now send in number 9. Look at this. Oh yeah, well in. Now number 9 to serve for the Hawks. Novalie Clark. Far side, Avery Minor with the left arm. Chris to the far side, Bovard, saved by Safford. Near side, Saylor Fridley just mistimed that ever so slightly. Gives the point to the Hawks, and now they are bringing their comeback here. Still down 5 with 4 to go for the Red Knights. That's the magic number, 4. Combination of points. Minor, nice save in the head corner by number 9, Novalie Clark, and that sails long on the kill shot. And the Red Knights now inch closer to the victory in this match. And now checking in, probably served. She brought a lot of points earlier in game 4, was Izzy Safford. Now she's in to close it out. Safford. Nice save by Wozniak at the front line. And that's a violation against the Red Knights. Gives the 17th point to the Hawks. Now back to serve, number 11, Sasha Bovard, the senior. Her team down 5. Nice bump by Waters, near side. Saylor Fridley in the wheelhouse. That set was right where it needed to be. Saylor Fridley from her sister, Sydney. They practiced that in the backyard, I'm sure. Sister to sister, can't beat that combination. Oh, and Clark puts it in the net. But they've got plenty of cushion so far, it seems. But there is a chance here for the Hawks. They've got to play perfect volleyball, though. They really do. And now, Clara Christ. No unforced errors. They can't afford any. Not a one. And Clara Christ, she believes. And a timeout by Becker. He doesn't want to take any chance here. Doesn't want to force a game 5, especially a shortened game 5. They only played a 15. But they lead still by 4. But the Hawks hanging around here in game 4, trying to tie it up 2-2. We're in the midst of a 1-minute timeout. I'd love to be able to listen into Michael Becker, what he's telling his players here. Trying to imagine what I would say. Just stay relaxed. We've got this. Chaska's a good team. Just focus on the ball, make the plays that you're trained to make and the way you're supposed to make them, and things are going to work out just fine. But a good time out there. He's got a young team here as well. A couple freshmen leading the way, basically, and some seniors. Actually a good mix, but still a young team overall. Now Chris gets it in. Waters. Saved by Safford, and a chance for the Hawks, and they've got Ramsey Johnston, and she does not get the set that she needed. It was a little in front and not quite high enough. And now the Red Knights arrive not only at game point, but match point. And the serve by Sailor Friedley. She's been a star tonight. Now Johnston. That's the makeup for the miss hit on the last one. It really wasn't a miss hit. The set wasn't there, but this time the set was. And still hope reigns supreme for the Hawks. Back to serve, number 15. Madison Pride on Lee. Is she gonna get the return? I think so. Trying to bring it home. Saved by Chris. She dives to her right. Healy, the 8th grader, delivers the 21st point for the Hawks, and they're within 3. Never say die, Chaska Hawks trying to hang in there, staving off another match point. This is the 3rd match point of the night for game 4. Prydon gets it in, Safford, near side, Lee. Saved by Johnson. She gets the return and finds the opening in the far left corner. Timeout Becker as the Hawks have come storming back. Still down 2, but they are playing perfect volleyball, and another wise timeout in my opinion by Michael Becker. They want to get this win for sure, especially following the loss. I mentioned it a few times already tonight, but it really is true. Want to get some confidence going into the final 3 matches of the year at Cass and Mantreville, and then 2 big matches against Laconia and New Prague. That'll decide the Metro West Conference Championship for 2023. All right, following the timeout, the Hawks are on a run here. They were down 6. They've cut the deficit to 2, and back to serve. The sophomore Madison Prydon needs to get it in. Goes deep. Safford. Lee blocked at the net. Save. Wozniak gets it over. Chance for the Hawks. Johnston finds it. And now they're within 1, and you've got to win by 2. Becker, Coach Becker off the bench, encouraging his team here. If they get this point, this is match point maybe number 5 that the Hawks have staved off here in a great, amazing comeback here by Prydon and the Hawks. And it goes long. All that work to go on an unforced error, very unfortunate, but I'm gonna say Madison Prydon played very well, and she deserves a ton of credit for bringing her team back from the service line. I said you had to play perfectly, and that will happen, but there is our final score in game 4, 25-23. The Red Knights take the match 3-1. So for Paul Broden, our producer, and everyone connected with our broadcast here on ParkTV 16 Sports, my name is Robert Christensen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again as the Red Knights win.